All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay, y'all. I know y'all be bopping with the music because I know I do. Okay, because that my intro, I can't lie. It's hot. Okay, it's hot. Hi Danielle, how you doing, guys? Before I bring AJ into the room, because I know y'all are really here for him. Y'all ain't even here for me. Y'all might as well just go ahead and tell me the truth. Tell me the truth now. It's all good because you know what? I am here for him too. Okay, how about that? How about those apples? I love my intro. Imani, shout out to Imani Hamilton for editing and putting it together. That is a Black creative that you guys definitely want to follow. I'm going to put her IG handle up again. And also, just so you know, guys, I want to know in the comments, tell me, where are you guys from? Tell me where you representing, okay? Because right now I'm in New York City, but I'm from Maryland. I had to learn how to say Maryland while living up here, because everyone would talk about how we would say Maryland, okay? But hi guys, we live. Yes, we are live with Tisha, the artist. We are live in the building. Yes, we are. Oh, thank you, Caddy. I appreciate that. You're amazing too. Thank you so much for following the call and just coming to, the Bronx. Yes, the Bronx is in the building. Okay. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. San Francisco. Wow. Hey, Asia girl. Yes, Maryland. Hey, Maryland. Oh, Mississippi. Okay, but you live in Maryland. What part of Maryland, though? Y'all from PG County? Where y'all from? Okay, because I'm PG County. Yes, baby. Ohio. Okay, I'm loving it. You guys are from everywhere. We got Boston in the house. I love Boston. Boston's a beautiful city. Vegas. Yes, Vegas. What? Alexandria. I was actually born in Alexandria. If y'all guys didn't know. We got Miami in the house. Hi, Joanne. Nice to meet you. Thank you guys so much. London. What? Okay, I got London in the house. What? Okay, Toronto, love it, love it, love it. Listen, guys, I want you guys to know that I really appreciate that all of you guys came out today to the All Black Everything Summit 2020. This was a new endeavor for me. This was birthed out of the pivot. This was birthed out of COVID-19. And I that's real, because as a makeup artist, I was like, what am I going to do? And I am not a makeup artist that is in front of a camera ever. I'm really not. This is something that is very new to me. This is very new territory for me. But then I was like, what else can I do? Like, I don't do makeup tutorials on myself, but how else can I stay inspired? How else can I also inspire other people or keep people, their spirits up? Because I need my spirit up. Like, I was like, how can I keep my spirit up? I think that's really what it was how can I keep my spirit up? And how can I continue to be around people, even in spite of all of this going on? So that is how that's how the global conversations with creative pros happen. But then the larger question or the larger goal, the larger thing that came out of COVID is the AVE Summit. And that was me coming from a place of how can I keep other Black creatives inspired? Because it's a tough time right now. But I don't want us to shrink or to dim our light, It's always like, don't dim your light, like just keep on going. And that's where really it came from. So guys, I'm so excited and so happy that you guys, thank you, Danielle. And I'm so happy that you guys are trusting my process and trusting me in this and coming and, spending the day with me. Well, spending the next 3 days, because hopefully you guys are coming back. We have 2 more days. So one of the requests I have is if you want to get notifications, please definitely follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, because I don't think this is going to be the last thing I do. I really don't. I feel like this is just only the beginning, and it is what it is. Oh, thank you, Lori. I really appreciate it. I love what you're doing too. Okay. So, guys, let me introduce the man of the hour and a half. Okay. Hour and a half. How about that? So here, let me tell you. First of all, I so appreciate people like when I pitch them ideas, they don't hesitate. They say yes, and he was one of the ones that just was like, yeah, sure, and I was like, what? So that was very new to me. So I was just like, okay, I appreciate him so much for that. So without further ado, let me read you guys like some words on him. Okay, so I did my research. So AJ Crimson is the rock star of the beauty industry. Okay. Oh yeah, you come back. Yes, Rashana. He is the rock star of the beauty industry. He's an entrepreneur, makeup artist, and beauty and lifestyle expert. Yes, okay, expert, y'all, expert. Because that's one of the things. It's like learn from the experts, learn from people doing. He created the AJ Crimson Beauty Cosmetics out of a necessity to create a product inclusive of all women of all ethnicities. A product all women could find ownership in and believe in. So often makeup has been designed with a one-size-fits-all mentality. And with Black women and women of color, my cosmetic line contains shades for women of every ethnic background and skin tone. Listen, I understand that we have this trend going on right now where everyone's hyping up and saying like, oh, they're inclusive, they included it. Listen, this was already being done, okay? And AJ Crimson was at the forefront of making that happen, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give credit where credit is due, okay? And that is what I'm about. So we're gonna bring AJ Crimson into the room, y'all. Are y'all ready to get this word? Because I am. So let me invite him right in right now. AJ!
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I cannot complain. I can't complain at all. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming. I so appreciate you coming. You look good. Look at you.
Thank you. I'm hitting a little allergy point, but I'm all right.
Yeah, my allergies have been kind of bothering me today as well. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, on a day where I'm like, I don't need to be sniffling all over the place.
Exactly. I was like, oh, of all the days, like this is what's happening, but we're going to fight through it. So, hey, everybody, I've been seeing the comments. Super excited to be here. All of you who have like joined in. This is going to be great. I'm so excited to talk to Joy. And this, I love this. Can I just start off by saying I love this? I can't tell you enough how much I absolutely love All Black Everything and everything that you're doing with this platform. It's so needed. You're doing it for the culture in such a big way. You know?
Oh, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, enough about me. Or, you can say more. No, I'm just kidding.
So much to say.
I want to start by asking, just if you can I know I gave a little bit of a rundown of your background, but I would love if you could, give us a little bit more. I want to hear, who is AJ Crimson and AJ Crimson Beauty?
For sure. Who is AJ Crimson? AJ Crimson is he's a really cool guy. He's definitely a really cool guy. You know, I've always been like a really hard worker.
Okay.
I've always worked to be resourceful, to carve my own lane, and really not fall victim to naysayers. You know what I mean? A lot of times, when you're growing up, and for me, I think I've always seen success for myself. I didn't always know how that success would come. And trying to project that and maybe articulate that to the people around me, they don't always understand, and you have to kind of find a place where at least you're learning to understand yourself and learning to understand to keep going, even when the world doesn't get it. And, so I think I've always been a fighter for myself in that way.
Okay.
And I think when I think about the AJ Crimson Beauty brand, what is it? I mean, it's a pro luxury line for with women of color first, with them in mind first.
Okay.
And we don't have that. We haven't had that. We still don't have it. Not in this capacity. So
true.
It really is, I think, a brand that's always kind of had its finger on the pulse of what's happening next.
I think one of the great things that I love when I talk to you outside of this is that one of the things you told me was that when it was created, you created almost like how everyone starts with light and then goes dark.
Yes.
You started the opposite way.
I did.
You know what I mean? And I think that just gave like that respect.
Thank you.
Like, yeah.
For me, it was kind of a thing. Like, I had tested a few different products. Obviously, before AJ Crimson Beauty, I had a brand called Kissable Couture, and it was all about luxury lip gloss. Like, we launched on Oprah in her favorite things. We were in Bergdorf, which I'm really hoping Bergdorf doesn't get shut down. Actually, Bendel's is where we launched, which is closed. But I've always kind of been in that space of like wanting to bring luxury to Black women. But I think when it came time to formulating the foundation, one, it was, what am I true? I have to be true to what I'm known for. And that was always great skin. Like that's the thing that women, my clients always kind of came back to. It's always like this cupcake, creamy kind of skin. And I knew I had to start with the darkest color because this was a girl that nobody was talking about. Nobody was talking to her. It's like, why? Like, why is no one talking to her? Why is it that the only place that she can find a shade for her in a drugstore? Why can't we find her at some of the stores that, I love to shop in, which would have been the higher end luxury stores, So it was really important. I figured if we can get her right, then we can create the other ones. We can work backwards. And I feel like if you can make the color look great on her skin, then it's going to look great on everybody else.
Yes, I love that. That is so true. So true. So when AJ and I first spoke to each other on my Instagram Live video, and he was so like everyone loved him that they were like, we need to see him again. So I was like, yeah. So when I put this whole thing together, I was like, first up was AJ. Get AJ. We need AJ.
Yes.
So I wanted to bring you on because I really wanted to deep dive into like this whole COVID situation, and especially with, so before this panel, we spoke with makeup artists Delina and Alana, and that was the makeup artist perspective. This now is the founder perspective of a founder of a beauty company, or just a founder in general of, because what transitions can transition throughout any business, So I feel like I wanted to bring you on because I wanted to know what will it take for Black-owned beauty brands to continue to thrive post-pandemic?
Absolutely. I think that we have to treat all of our businesses with a level of respect. It starts with respect, It starts with this respect of brand. It starts with the respect of customer, client. I think it's reflecting and thinking about how we shop. When I order things, like I ordered something recently, and I think this is how I'm always able to learn more about my customer and learn more about my brand based on even my own shopping habits. So I recently purchased an arm for my cell phone to lean on, right? And I knew that it was going to be about 4 weeks, but I was in the 4th or 5th week and I was looking for it, and I hadn't heard from the brand that I was buying it from. And the tracking number that they gave me, stalled out at some point. And I was like, where is this? So to the point where I was just like, I wanted to kind of cuss everybody out through email, like, hey, like, where's my stuff? What I mean? So this record, I was like, wow. So I stepped back and I thought, wow, you know what? This is how my customers may feel when they order a foundation from us and we are overstocked or oversold and we didn't communicate with her that it was going to take a little bit longer. It's putting yourself in the seat of the customer. I think that's what's most important, because without her, and I say her because like she's my, because she is like my predominant customer, even though I have a lot of male clients as well.
Yeah, I get it.
When I think of her and I think of like what her needs are, it's just always important to me to make sure that I'm putting her first and I'm thinking about it from her point of view and her perspective. And personalization, I think, is key. One thing that we continuously do here, I started this maybe sometime in the middle of last year or the year before, where we put a note. There was a young lady, a friend of mine, Asia, that worked for me in Los Angeles, in the Los Angeles store. And she started writing little notes on all of the packing slips that would go out.
I love that.
Yeah, and like it was something I didn't think of. You know what I mean? It's something I wasn't thinking about. I was like, hey, I just want to get her stuff out. Let's get it to her as fast as we can.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, like, did you put notes on the thing? Because I got a text message from a girl in my DM saying, oh, thanks for the little note. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. We need to make sure we do that on everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Since that time, we've done that. And I have one right here. I have these really cool cards. So I make it a point for all of our customers I personally write these myself.
Oh, I love that.
Myself, and I make sure that they go out into the orders. So it's personalization. We're in a great time right now where we get to hone in and be one-on-one with our clients.
Yeah.
Now more than ever. Before, I thought it was a bit much of a challenge. Like I wanted to do foundation matching with our girls, girls who wanted to try the brand. Like I would always post pictures of like the line, and I have this little magical post that I do where I swatch.
Yes, I saw that.
And girls are like, oh my God, I really want to try your stuff, but I don't know how to find my color. And foundation is probably the hardest thing to match, especially now that you have 100 shades to choose from, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to, I've always wanted to be able to do Zoom conversations or one-on-ones with those girls who always want to try the brand and give them consultations. But I was always traveling. I traveled 4 to 5 times a week before COVID. But what this has opened up the door to was now people know how to use Zoom. People know how to get on, their IG lives. And now we can do a one-on-one consultation with AJ Crimson Match Me Perfect in AJ Crimson Beauty. Right from the site. So they can book their own appointments with me. They have that one-on-one experience, and they get a custom AJ Crimson prescription from me.
I love that.
So it's all about customization at this point. Customization, personalization, using our time wisely, putting yourself in the seat of the customer because she's the one that's keeping us going.
I love that. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen that are watching, this is all about communication. And even if you're a creative making money, this is still about a business.
Yes.
So even if you're a freelancer, you're like, well, I'm not a founder. You are a founder. You are still trying to hit those numbers. You are still if you see yourself as a business, you are a business. Yeah. So another question I have is, how do we set ourselves up for success even after COVID?
Step our game up.
Okay.
Step your game up. Simply step your game up and start small. Like I think, people are wasting this opportunity. There's a lot of people that are wasting this opportunity. When will you ever get 7 weeks, 7 weeks off to just really focus on your business?
Okay.
And like you said, you are founders. If you're a makeup artist, if you have a brand, if you are aspiring to have a brand, this is the 7 to 8 to 10 weeks that you use to develop those concepts and develop those ideas. Right? Stepping our game up in that moment and not having this woe is me thing. I think a lot of times people are on the internet and you're looking to your left and you're looking to your right about with what other people are doing. And I had this comment in my DMs recently. A girl said, how do I compete? I'm a new makeup artist, and how do I compete with so many major makeup artists around me? You got the wrong focus. You're focusing on the wrong thing. Why are you focused on who's around you? Focus on your lane, because there's a lot of things that you need to be working on, whether it's your portfolio, whether it's conceptualizing things for your website, because a lot of you don't have real websites, right? You're using your Instagram page, and your Instagram page is just not enough, regardless to what, you feel like or you think the world is saying. If you want to step your game up and elevate to the next level, those bigger artists that you're worrying about, they actually have real websites. And they're actually adding new content, new types of content to those websites. So it's using your time wisely. When I had said that woe is me thing, and spending too much time worrying about other people, you got to focus on your lane. Yeah. Your race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely one of the things that I want people to kind of one of the things I want people to do is just kind of make a checklist A checklist. I have sticky. I have Post-its all over my walls of things, like of a guideline, of an outline, and I move those things around to see what I want.
I love that.
See what works and what's not working. I am on the phone with graphic designers. I am watching people like you, with fabulous ideas and turning on a dime. Like you have everything you need to succeed right now. That is one of my favorite quotes. You have everything you need to succeed right now. So stop thinking about all of the things that you don't have, the money that you don't have. If you haven't applied for unemployment insurance, go and get it, because you could potentially be bringing in about $4,000 worth of currency every month that you can put towards your business.
Yes.
Here Comes a Beauty was $5,000 7 years ago, and it's blown up exponentially. So I am a strong believer in that.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so guys, I already told y'all he was gonna come in here and drop some dimes, okay, and drop some gems. Guys, if you feel like this is resonating with you, please share this out to your friends, because we're trying to get as many people in the building so that we are creating the legacies that we deserve to create. Okay, and I want everyone to hear these messages, and just have a collective shift in thought. With that said, what are some real right now actions that beauty brands or creatives can take to get ready during this time?
So one thing that I've been seeing, which is really great, there's a barbicide.
Oh yeah,
have you seen that? So how many people have actually done that barbicide certification, right? If you're lacking in your business perspective, why aren't you going to Harvard? Harvard actually has a host of classes that you can take online right now. Some are free, some cost a little bit of money that you can invest in and use this time to give an hour of yourself every day to actually learning something new or fill in those gaps and fill in those voids. Preparing your kit, maybe getting online and purchasing things for your kit. I'm currently in that mode now. I'm thinking about, okay, when I go back to work, what do I want my kit to look like? How do I want to shape the conversation of my products versus alongside the story that I want to tell in the makeup that I do? Because maybe I was too busy to kind of get some of these other things in there, but now it's a perfect time to do that. So I think it's planning and prepping those ways. Thinking about shoots that you need. Making a detailed list of shoots that you need in your book, models that you want to connect with. Right now, everybody's collaborating. Why are you figuring out those collaborations? Now, I mean, I haven't seen a time when it's so easy to now kind of get almost anybody that you want to see or anybody that you want to connect with on the phone. Right? You can get on an IG live story. You can have a conversation. Create the conversation. Get involved in the game. There's no time for fear. We always talk about YouTubers and, as makeup, well, how do I frame this? And I don't want to say as professional makeup artists, because I think YouTubers have grown to be professional makeup artists.
I agree with you, yeah.
So if you're not so what's traditionally seen as a makeup artist versus like a YouTuber, those people just kind of got out there, they got in the game and jumped on. Like you said, I am not the girl who's normally in front of the camera. And you know what? You have to show up for yourself, right?
Yeah.
You have to show up for you, because if you don't show up for you, how can you expect anybody else to?
Okay. Preach.
So, so show up for yourself unapologetically. Don't dim your light, shine the light on you. And if you're afraid, I always get nervous. Like I said, even before this, I was like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And you're like, I don't believe you. And I think for a few seconds, I was a little nervous, but that's always that thing inside.
Yeah.
You want to bring your best to the table all the time. I want to show up and be my best for you. I want to be my best for the people. And I want to show up and be my best for myself. So, those are the starting points. I think just starting and don't try to take such huge chunks out of things.
Okay.
Right. Obviously, like I want to be, I want to sell my brand for 1.5 billion because the last deal was like 1.2 billion with It Cosmetics, and Charlotte Tilbury is, selling for $1 billion, or she's asking for $1 billion now. So I want to be 1.5 billion.
Okay.
And if I'm going to sell it, right? And instead of me focusing on reaching that $1.5 billion mark, which is what drive me crazy, like a binary number that I can't solve. You know, I'm going to take it bit by bit, like looking at the presentation of my product as it is today, and how can I step that game up and make it a little bit better? How can I make my customer's experience shopping at my website smoother? How can I make her, when she receives it, more exciting? So, you know.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So
I'm back.
This particular panel is from founder to mogul. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the 1.5 billion, yeah, that sounds real good. Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
That then leads me into my question. Why are people hesitant to support members within the community? And how can that change? Because we see that a lot where, you know, you put something out there and you think you're going, you know, just out of your own circle, out of that, you can just blow and go straight to the moon. Right. But how is it that we then can make that happen? Like, sometimes we struggle with people within our own communities supporting our brands.
I think that's where it kind of, that's very disheartening, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Because I can't tell you how many times I have seen people make purchases. Like, I started this in 2013, started with number 8. I've seen probably at minimum 10 reiterations of my AJ Crimson Artist Kit.
Okay.
Through other brands.
Wow.
I've watched women that follow me on other pages and saying, "Oh, finally, they made colors for us." Mm-hmm. And it's like, no, wait, actually, I've been making colors for you.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, if you compare side by side, this is where they got it from. Like, take a look, you know?
Yeah.
And what is it about that? Why do we always have to fit ourselves in somebody else's box? As opposed to working with a brand that's always kind of built a box around you. I built a box to fit you. You don't have to go and beg some other brand because they came out with 50 Shades of White this season. Like, stop begging them to have that conversation when you could actually participate and talk to and communicate with a brand that wants to talk to you, that's eager to talk to you, that wants to create new things for you. And I think that's part of it. So, you know, we have to stop thinking that the white man's water is colder. I think that's just where it begins. It starts with us. I also believe that we have to treat each other's businesses with respect. Saying that because it's so important.
Yes, it is.
And you should think about how, if you had a business or whatever business it is that you are pushing, whether it's your makeup artistry, whether it is your product or your brand or whatever service it is that you're doing, how do you want to be supported? Support the way that you want to be supported. It starts with you. It starts with you. If you're not supporting other Black-owned businesses, then how can you expect people to support your business? If you're supporting your homegirl like you supported the celebrity that you don't know, you know what I mean? Like, that's a big thing. Like how can you expect her to come and support you? I'm gonna go buy not Rihanna, but like Beyonce's makeup line when it comes out before I get yours, because it's Beyonce. I don't know her, but you know what I mean? But I'm gonna go get that because, you know, I just want to support Beyonce. Well, girl, I want you to just support me too. You know what I mean? And it's just that. And that, you know, that's the voice. That's the look that I have in my head when I hear things. That's the spin that I feel. That's how I feel like she's doing it. It's like, oh, I want to support that, and it's like, no, girl, well, come support this. You know, you can't expect the same respect. So I think it just we have the capabilities. There is absolutely, when you look at the numbers historically, every year after year after year, the reports come out and it says how Black women spend most on their beauty, right? Whether it's hair, makeup, you know, you name it, body care, self-care. She spends the most. Why is it that we only allow one of us or two of us to become or excel the multi-million-dollar brand? It can only be one. It's just like in the music industry, because I came from the music industry. When a girl says to me, "Oh, I want to wear, I want to wear red hair," and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it, let's rock it." "Oh, but I can't because so and so already did red hair."
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch the Oscars, that girl's got red hair, that girl's got red hair, and nobody is saying that only one of the girls can show up to the carpet with red hair. They're not comparing the two. We're always in the business of comparing each other.
Yes.
That's just, we have to stop doing that. You know what I mean? Like, again, everybody's service is different. I have a lip gloss, and my friend Melissa Butler has a lip gloss. You know what I mean? But I love Melissa Butler stuff because she has colors that I don't make. And she's my friend, and I want to see her do really well. So I buy her stuff. I bought her Fast Face when it launched. I have my own foundation, but she makes a liquid that I don't make. I make cream. So it's these are things that could complement what I'm doing. We're always looking to, instead of me saying, "Oh, Joy, of course I'm going to come on your summit," I'm like, "Oh, that's a good idea, Joy. I'm gonna go do my own." Actually, I can't be a guest on yours because I'm gonna go do mine. Why can't I do mine and do yours?
Yes, yes,
right?
yes.
So it's just it just always goes back to support. It always goes back to putting yourself in the other person's position. If this were your brand, how would you want your people to show up for you? There's absolutely no reason why we can't fundraise amongst ourselves, right? Yeah. Because beauty brands usually get the short end of the stick when it comes to funding. When you're communicating with the brands that you love, are you talking to them in love? Are you communicating with them in love? Or are you coming to the table with a, for lack of a better word, stank attitude? Because I see it all the time where people say, "I try to support a Black business, but the customer service is always so bad." And that's something that the brand needs to pay attention to. You know what I mean? It just can't be okay that you go to we talked about this, like the jerk chicken spot, right? Where we just accept the fact that it's like the hole in the wall. Why can't it be why can't our taste level rise? We have to raise our taste level in things. It's not about being like the white brands, but it's just raising the bar.
Yeah.
We want to accept for ourselves. Like everything doesn't have to be so makeshift.
I
right?
love that. Yeah.
Put the brand out, do the steps to put the brand out in a way where it can compete with the other brands that you see on the market. The girls are going crazy for Mac Daddy because he puts it out there in a specific way.
Yeah.
If you're going to show up to the table, you got to show up equal or better.
And especially if you want to drop a luxury line.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that, because, just being in this industry for as long as we've been in, we know packaging. We know things that, sell a product. Yep. And if you want to compete at the luxury level, then you have to have an experience behind that product, Yeah. And if you aren't deciding to offer that, then it might not be a perfect fit for luxury yet,
Right.
For luxury. You might
not be ready for luxury. And also, you don't have to try to put out 10 products. Yes. Start with one.
You do the one that's perfect.
This one thing right here, y'all. We all have this in our kits.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I moved it off my table. I had it on my table.
She has 3 or 4 different products, right? Yeah. But this one is This one is selling like hotcakes all the time.
That's so true.
So why can't you just come up with something like that, right? Yeah. Overthink it, And again, if you are going to do luxury, this is just like a little sneak peek like this. This is something I've been working on with the detail, right?
Yeah, details, all the details, yeah.
Rose grain ribbon in a white opal jar. Like this is, you know what I mean? Like we have to give ourselves. You have to do your research, and if you don't know, if your taste level is not there yet, the examples are all around you because there's luxury everywhere, right? So, yeah.
Yes, I agree. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is going straight into another question that I have because all these questions are kind of like feeding into each other perfectly,
I love that.
How can we start to heal generational trauma and lack mentality? Can it be healed? Because a lot of us don't think that we deserve what we deserve. We don't think that we deserve the best, or don't think that we. Because I feel like generationally we've been told, oh no, you know, like, don't even think you can do the things that you can do. Like, what makes you think you're different than me? What makes you think you're, you know, almost like, you know, what makes you think you're better than me? You know, but it's like people teaching other people that just because, you know, like they can't do it, you can't do it either.
Yeah.
So how can we start to heal that and the lack mentality?
I think you have to just look around. If you can figure out how to be available for the Michael Jordan shoe release, you know, on the first day, and you can stand in line for that, or you can be, you know, on the phone, ready in line to get a Beyonce ticket, and you can figure out how to do that. Then you can also figure out how to advance yourself regardless of the naysayers. You can have a dream, you know, and not listen to what everybody on the left and right is saying that opposes what that dream is. Sometimes you can't tell everybody what it is that you want to do or what you're planning to do. Sometimes you just have to show up and show it. I can't tell you how many times I've talked to, you know, investors who said earlier on when I was actually looking for investors, who said to me, oh, if you tell me that the line is for like my lip gloss line, if you tell me that this lip gloss line is for Black women, then, you know, I'll give you the money. I'm like, well, that just sounds stupid. Like, because, you know, lip gloss can be for any person, woman, right? Or people who would say to me, AJ, you know, you got to do it this way. You know, no one's ever gonna do it. You doing it this way isn't gonna work. Well, why won't it work? Like, I always have to ask, if I can envision it and I can see it, then I know that it can happen. My entire life has been built on a dream. It's been built on a dream. It's been built on a vision or idea of what I think it could be. And because we have so many different examples, especially now with social media, that you can see things, you can see that it worked for someone. If it worked for someone, why couldn't it work for you? Because, you know, I went to this thing that Nick Cannon had a couple years ago, and it was so sad to me because it was, I forgot, it may have been the Do Something Awards or something to that effect, but there was a girl in the video that they were showing, and she was from like a low-income neighborhood in California, in LA, and they had taken these kids, a group of kids from the neighborhood, to like a better restaurant, like a 5-star restaurant. And the kids were really lost. You know, and she said, I couldn't believe that I was here. She said, the best meal that I ever had was McDonald's. Right? And that was disheartening because that's the best meal she's ever had.
Yeah.
But now that she's been exposed to a better meal, you have to now let her know that you are worth being here. You can be here too. You get to go. Why don't you get to go? You might be a little more soulful than, you know, other folks, but that's okay. That gives you your edge. Yeah. Find a way to get to know you and use what you have to flip it and turn it into what it needs to be, because people around the world are trying to be you, know, being every version of you and making money off of that, and, you know, in so many ways, and exploiting your gifts. And exploiting your gifts and making money off of it, and commercializing you, and you don't even feel good enough to be you. So, you know, how is that even possible? How is that possible? You know, so we got to sit with ourselves, because again, I can't want your dream more than you.
True.
I can't want it more than you. And I'm not going to want it more than you.
Yeah, and that, I think, goes into like a lot, like sometimes people that is so true. You can't want my dream more than I want my dream.
I can't.
But some people expect that. They want you to put in the work for them.
Well, a lot of times people are lazy now. And let's just be real about that. A lot of folks are lazy. They don't want to do the work. They want the fame and they want the fortune, but they don't really want the hustle and the work that comes with acquiring that.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, it looks fabulous to be sitting next to celebrity so-and-so. It looks fabulous to take a selfie, or to be able to, you know, it looks fabulous to like be able to call, you know, someone on the phone and have a relationship with them. But you don't know the struggle that it takes. Like, when I'm off of this, like, I am up, you know, during COVID, I've been up almost nonstop, 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm still up in 24 hours just because I'm constantly thinking.
Yes.
I'm constantly working. I'm constantly wondering. Like when orders coming through, like I said, I sign all the cards.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the sale notices, and I'm sitting here writing these. And I've had people say to me, other brand owners, like, "Oh, like how do you have time to do that?" And I'm like, because I can, because I care.
Yeah.
I care enough about my business. I care enough about where I want to go, and I want to give her that. But I can't pass that off. Like we always want to. That is something too. I want to say, like, I think in terms of, when people think about being a business owner or being the boss or being like a mogul, people automatically believe or think that the work stops. You stop doing the work and you just start delegating to everybody else.
Yeah.
You have team members, from time to time, but those people sometimes come and go. And if you don't know how to run your business independent of those folks, then what happens to your business? I know how to do every aspect of my business. From packing the order, to printing the order, to creating the product, to knowing how to get the product in from my manufacturers. I know every aspect of it because it starts with me. And then I'm able to give it to other people. It doesn't stop with me. My finger is on every part of this because it's mine. Because at the end of the day, AJ Crimson is the name on it. When people shop at the website and, an order goes out the wrong way, I'm not the one necessarily packing it up and sending it out to you. Somebody else is doing that. But when people hit customer service or when they hit me up online, they say, I ordered from you, AJ, or you didn't send me. You didn't send me. Yeah. I ordered from you and I didn't get this. So I can't go back into them and say, oh, that homegirl in shipping, didn't do it. Sorry. I get it. I did it. It's my responsibility. So it never stops with you. It always stops with you, and you never stop putting your hands on it. One other note to that: a friend of mine was in like a big ensemble, like in New York, and he told me the guy who owns Madison Square Gardens, like he writes everyone's checks. Wow. He writes out and signs every person's check. Yeah. And gives it to them. So this is the owner of Radio City Music Hall, the owner of Madison Square Gardens. If he can still sit there and write every person's check out, I absolutely can come to work for my small business. Wow. Okay. I love that. That is, I love that because, it's just a level of care. Like, and I think that goes into like passion. Yeah. Like this is your passion. Yeah. Once you find your passion, then you actually aren't okay with just handing it over to anybody else. Yes. This is your baby, and it will kick a drive in you that you never thought was available. And I think that that's so true. But and really quick, guys, we have about 17 minutes with this portion of the talk, and then we're going to have a Q&A. So guys, start dropping your questions in. But what do you say to people who are like, but they don't teach us how to do certain things? Then you need to go and learn to figure out how to do it. Who is they? Who is they that didn't teach you? If you can formulate the sentence to say, well, they never taught me, then girl, you can formulate the sentence to go say, I need to go learn. And let me go find who it is that I need to communicate to learn the lesson. Right? Like we gotta stop. You can't grow up your whole life. Like that's like me growing up my whole life and being mad about some shit that my parents didn't do for me. Like, yeah, okay, cool. Like they probably didn't, maybe they didn't understand how to, I was 11 years old bringing home applications to boarding school. We found a boarding school in Switzerland, the American school in Switzerland that I want to go to. Can you help me fill this out? And my parents were like, what? Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, where are you going? And I was just like, I plan to go to this school. Like, or hey, like, like I was always trying to get somewhere, right? So like and I was like, hey, like when I turn 18, like, and I'm out of here, like, we need to just have my bags packed because I'm planning to go to this place. And then, why do you have to go there? Like, why can't you do it here? I was like, you know what? Because it's not going to happen here. It's not going to happen here. I just see me there doing what I want to do. And I've always seen that. So one, I had to filter out all the noise that said that I can't do it. And then also two, I had to figure that shit out. Like, figure it out. Stop putting, I can't blame them for what they weren't exposed to or what they don't know.
Yeah.
The world is huge. Stop being afraid to step out.
Yes.
Stop counting the money you don't have and making an excuse for why you can't do something.
Okay. Yeah.
If you can find the money for weave, you can find the money for other things that don't bring value, like long-term value, then you can figure out a way to invest in things that will bring you value. You can take a little bit of money that you have every week to buy a little bit of stock in Delta Airlines or American Airlines while it's down. You spend $100, put $100 in the stock market, because if you're in your 20s and you really work towards putting something in, and pay yourself first and put something into those places, by the time you're 65, you can retire with a couple of million. If in your 30s, and your 40s, you might have a couple $100,000, but you'll think that. We're not thinking long term. We're thinking so much in the short game and what you can do to how I can get money tomorrow. You're missing the forest for the trees.
Oh yes, okay, right? that's yes. Before we go into the other conversation, so you recently started an affiliate program.
I did.
I think right now I think that's amazing, especially because you're providing opportunities to the community. And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Absolutely. So AJ Crimson Beauty Work From Home. So it's the Work From Home program, a Work From Home affiliate program, and you get 30%. Wow. So basically, a lot of the girls that are already enrolled in the program are customers they're customers of ours. They're women that I've met. They're women and men that I have met and that I've met over the 7 years that we've started. And it's really a way for you who already use the product to go out and talk about the product. You've already been talking about it, but now you can make 30% off of every sale that you refer. And I think that's a way that you can actually make money and empower yourself. So you're not sitting in a slump. Like right now, we're all not working, but women are still needing to feel good about themselves. Like if you're not getting up and putting a little lipstick on, I still spray a little fragrance on even around the house because it just makes me feel good. So with the Work From Home program, you sign up at ajcrimson.com. It's in the programs and membership section, and there's an application. You put it in, you get 30% off of every sale. We have a weekly call at 7:00 every Sunday where we talk and we highlight and I celebrate all of those girls who are converting. I come into your lives and I come into your rooms where you do like makeup parties because everybody's doing it from home, right? So you do these Zoom calls, and we've had a lot of success stories, and those girls are eager. It's about, but again, it goes back to how hungry are you to make money? How hungry are you to see yourself successful? We all have a phone that we at least know 25 people that want to support us. Just selling one lipstick to each one of those folks, you've brought in about $200 for yourself. You know what I mean? So it really is. It can be that easy, and we've seen a lot of success. So I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about the girls that have already logged on and have come on, and they've been doing a really great job.
But I think that is also like thinking about like a different model. A different business. No
Black business that's doing this.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like I haven't heard of another Black business doing this type of model. No. And I think that's really to be commended, because that's actually empowering folks. Putting dollars in their pocket.
In your pocket. And that's what I was thinking. I was like, you know what? Like right now, literally a big retailer fired so many people that were like a lot of their part-time workers. A lot of people know that because maybe a lot of them were caught up in it. And I thought like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm launching this program to everyone in the coming weeks. And I was like, because now it's a way for me to give back. It's really a way for me to give back and share in the spoils to those women who've been so loyal to me, and those customers who've been so loyal to me, who've been talking about my product for free for years. Like I'm not the brand that gives out a ton of PR packages. Like I actually don't do it at all. Because Tom Ford's not sending you anything for free. So why do you expect that AJ Crimson should have to? right? In order for you to try it. Like girls will always say, oh, I really love to try it. Well, you can try it. Go to adriancrimson.com and you can purchase it. It's available. You know?
I know that's right.
Yeah. And I did away with like discounts and sale at our site because you know what? Again, my product is worth it.
Yeah.
My product is worth it. And if you don't understand its worth, then it just wasn't for you. We're just not speaking to you. And that's okay too.
How were you able, because this is a level of confidence that I just don't feel like I see a lot, that people were just like, you know, like how were you able to shape your confidence like this?
You know what? It's always scary going into things, but sorry.
Oh, they're trying to get some AJ Crimson right now.
Hey, like I'm
trying for the affiliate program.
Man, I can't even find you now. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I feel like it's tough. I actually will say that 2017 was probably the hardest year that I've had in business, and of all the years I've been in business.
Okay.
Because literally, you know, I'm for myself, I feel like I have a Midas touch. Okay. You know, where if I think about it, if I touch it, it can turn to gold. I believe it. I believe wholeheartedly that if I try it, I can do it. You know, and in 2017, it really challenged my confidence because a lot of things that I was trying was just failing. Like in my mind, you know, it was going backwards, and I didn't understand that. I didn't understand like how to come out of it. Like I remember not wanting to come out of my room for weeks, but just like, but I had to think. I was like, okay, like what are we doing wrong? Like where do we play it safe? You know, where have I gotten comfortable? Where have I got complacent? You know, and I had to ask myself those questions. I had to say, AJ, like, what did you do? Talk to yourself in third person. And I was able to answer those things and, you know, slowly come back and say, hey, like, you know what? There was no way to forecast that everybody was going to copy what the fuck you were doing and like, and now put it out and they have bigger voices. You know, they have larger voices, like just being real about it. And it's not that I wouldn't love to see my product in a retailer in every place, but I'm actually really glad that we're not because all those retailers, their doors are closed. All the places that we wanted to be that may have turned us down or said, oh, your girl doesn't shop here. They're in bankruptcy court now. You know what I mean? And it drove me to open my own store. Okay. And even with having my own store in LA, I opened it and it was ahead of its time. Black women, I wanted to create a place where Black women could come and, you know, not feel like they were looked over, like people were looking over their shoulders, you know, like we had heard stories about in Barney's. So it's like her little Barney's, but she just wasn't really ready for that. You know what I mean? And so I closed it, but I didn't feel like I failed in that moment. I think I'm pretty much the first Black owned male makeup line that had a store. I had my own freestanding store. I think even before Bobby Brown Cosmetics put their own freestanding store in LA. So, you know, so for me, you know, I look at it as a lot of firsts. I look at it as things that were right for me as a brand. And I tried it. And you can never say, one thing you never say about AJ Crimson that he didn't try. Okay. You know what I mean? And whether it worked or not is another thing, you know, but I now have the data. Yes. That if I want to do it again, I can do it again and I can figure it out, right? You know, so I think that's it. Like give yourself you're going to make mistakes. You're going to do things. I made all the mistakes I want to make with my money. Just from the start. I haven't used anybody else's money to do it. Okay. I may have had loans or something here and there, but I've had to pay those back. You know what I mean? So it's all ultimately like my cash. So it's like you have to take the chance on you, and you can either be afraid and stand by the sidelines and, you know, and let the world tell you where your place is, or you can carve a place out for yourself and be niche and talk to your tribe and build. Yeah. About like community building. How I've been seeing all the little pop-ups. I've been like, oh my God. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please definitely drop your questions in the comments because we're getting to those pretty soon. But the last question I wanted to ask you is, where do you see yourself or your line going
after COVID, and how can we support?
Well, you can always support by getting an artist kit or artist kit single at ajcrimson.com for sure. That honestly, that is the best way to support, to be honest. Like, support with your wallet.
Okay.
Because to say that I love your brand, and or I'm gonna tell all my friends about it, like, it really that also helps, but it really helps when you put your money where your mouth is. Because that's what keeps the doors open as a small business. Like, I'm 7 years in. May 7th was my 7-year anniversary.
Wow.
And I'm really proud of that, because we've seen so much. We've seen so much. I've been challenged so much, and I've seen brands come who've used me as a blueprint. And some of those brands are gone by the wayside now, even just within that short frame of time. And to still be here, and to still be standing, and still be moving forward. And we're still enjoying sales at the website, which is great. Our retailers are continuously reordering, so that means you're still shopping with them as well. We've opened new accounts, which is exciting during this time. So I don't see this letting up. I just see more people getting involved with the brand. Like, I mean, I've had girls who said, hey, I tried to go get this other thing that I thought was hot right now, and and honestly, it just didn't work out. So now I came on back. I know the product is great. I never have to oversell it. Girls understand what it is, and the girls who are challenged with it, like, I urge you to hit me in the DMs, to find out how you can use it better. Because it's usually not the product, it's usually the end user. And you can't use AJ Crimson Beauty the way you use everything else.
Okay.
But continue to support that way. Also, in terms of where I see the brand after COVID, I mean, I have some new launches in the works.
Okay.
So I love that. This 7 weeks has definitely absolutely been time that I needed to really develop and push those ideas forward. And I'm just happy. The girls who follow me, they've been seeing it, and they definitely have seen some of the things, and they've heard me talk about it as early as 2 years ago. So to finally see it now get closer and closer to this place of launch is really great. So look out for some things in the next couple months.
I love that. So guys, we're ready for your questions.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we got it right up. Joanne, where are your products manufactured? All
of my products are manufactured in the United States. We're cruelty-free. We are all natural, vegan friendly, paraben-free, gluten-free in case you want to eat it.
You can eat some cosmetics.
If you just gotta put it in.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We have another question from Sabrina. Thanks so much for sharing your wisdom. What's the time when you felt really discouraged? Oh, that's a great question. When you felt really discouraged about your brand, and how did you tackle that?
My AJ Crimson Beauty is the hardest relationship I've ever been in.
Okay.
It's the hardest relationship I've ever been in. We have argued with each other. We have disagreed with each other. I've wanted to break up and take a break from my brand as well, and we had and it and I had to kind of take a step back. But it was also one of those things where after that cooling off period happened, and I was able to really think about do I want to continue forward in this relationship?
Yeah.
I realized how much I love it, and how much I loved it, and how much joy it brings me, and how much joy it brings other people. And it's those other people. When they order something, just when I feel like I just want to give up, like a sale for an artist kit comes through, a sale for a lipstick, or someone who texts me and said, oh my God, like I just got my No Shade and it's like my favorite lip color ever. Or you got Ruby Who and it's like, I can't live without this. So it's those moments that really, that always bring me back. And because I've had that moment, like I've definitely been at the place where, like I said, 2017, like me and AJ Crimson Beauty were about to break up, what I mean? And just go our separate ways. But it was like, wait a minute, like I had to fight. I had to fight for fight for love. You know what I mean? So
yeah. But I bet you're so glad that you didn't like throw in the towel.
Yeah, I'm not a quitter either, you know, and that's the thing. Like in real life, like I might be sitting on the sideline saying like, oh, like F this, like I don't want to do it anymore. But the reality is I'm not a quitter. Like I can't even imagine, like throwing in the towel on this. Like I've been so lucky and so fortunate to work in every capacity of most all the careers or ideas of careers that I thought I wanted to be in. This is the one that has challenged me the most, and it also is the one that I because I know it's so many great things for it. I think that's why I get hit with all the challenges, but they're learning lessons. I'm
going to assume that is probably even the most rewarding relationship that you've ever been in.
Yeah.
You know? So,
yeah. Because I've seen it. I've just seen it do some amazing things.
Yes. I just want to ask, like, I know, so AJ's here, guys. Like, let's ask these questions. Okay, so are you looking into skincare or body products? Oh, that's are we getting ready to get a scoop? Woo! Wow.
So, I mean, what I was showing you. So this will actually change, but in these bottles are skincare samples. So that's what you're going to see soon.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What is making you like broaden and go into skincare now?
Well, because that's the one thing. Like I wear my product when I am on television or I do photo shoots and appearances. But the one thing that I always kind of have been complimented on is just my skin and like its youthful glow.
Yes.
So for me, I just kind of want to share those things with them, and it's also the base. I want to create something that really worked alongside my brand, alongside my foundation. You know, and some things that are out there don't necessarily do it in the best way. So it's a natural course of progression for us as a brand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now to hopefully I said your name correctly. How did you decide which manufacturer to go with for your brand?
Just how I felt, conversation, how, you know, and why, you know, how the samples came back, like were they spot on? Was the timeliness of those samples what was the timeliness of the samples created? You know, some places, you know, they took like 6 months to make something.
Oh, okay.
Not the place that I, you know, want to stick around. If it takes you 6 months to do something that could easily take, you know, 4 months, or maybe they didn't prioritize me, you know, in a way where, because I am smaller, to where it's going to take them 6 months. You know, usually with any launch, it takes roughly about at minimum, you know, 12 to 18 months to get a product to market. So, you know, those lead times are everything. So I think for me, it's just about the relationship. Are they excited about my brand? Do they feel like I'm a brand that they can grow with? You know, so those things play a huge factor in my manufacturing relationships.
When you're dealing with manufacturers, what made you decide to go with a U.S.-based manufacturer?
Because I didn't want my products made in China, to be honest. And I know there's brands that are out there that are doing it, and these are things that a lot of you love. You know, but quality is important to me. Which, yes, in some respect, you can get a certain quality or a level of quality out of China. But I like to be a little more. I like the product to be a little closer to home. Visit my facilities. Our foundations are hand poured here in the United States. So there's an artisan fact to our brand. So we're not just pumping it out in machines. Actually a small group of people that actually hand pour each one of those, each one of those pans. So there's just a level of love I think goes into play doing it locally. Yeah, I think it's just important. And why not? Why can't you create, I think you just get a better product when you do it like that. I mean, also, the only other place I would probably manufacture, which I have an item that I'm working on that is coming out of Italy. So yeah, I just want to go American made. Why not?
Okay. All right. Guys, okay. So Jamie Melbourne, hey, I do know Jamie. Hi. Okay. Hey, Jamie. He said you might recognize me. I am so proud of you. Thanks for you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. So proud. Jamie is proud of you as well.
Thank you.
Can I ask what his initials stand for?
Nope. It stands for AJ. That's it. AJ is always AJ.
Okay. I got you. Well, okay, Jamie. Hello. Okay, Nina. When a new company is launching, what's your recommendation on which products to roll out first?
What's the need? What are your customers saying? You know, like, what is your tribe saying? Like, what is your community saying? Like that, they'll tell you exactly what it is that they want from you and what they need from you. Also, like, what's the conversation that you're going to mold around that? You know, that drive that you're going to put around that, you know, because that's going to, are you jumping on board because it's the trend right now? Or are you doing it because you're now going to be the trendsetter? You know, it really just depends on like what conversation you're trying to catch or the one you're trying to create.
Okay, I love that. Yeah. Carmen, we got the questions coming in, y'all. How long was your journey from the initial idea to launching the first product?
2 years. With Kiss the Couture, I developed that. It took 2 years to develop that and get it out. And simply, a lot of it was just talking to different manufacturers, learning the ropes, learning that, like one thing, from one company I went to, I was like, oh, like how much will it cost to do the lab samples? And they're like, oh, it'll cost you like $1,000 a sample. And I was like, okay, well, all right, cool. And then what happens if I don't like it? And then it's like, oh, well, you know, then it'll cost you like another $1,000 to do it. I was like, what? Like, even if I don't like the one that you did?
Yeah.
Then it took me to another manufacturer where I was having the same conversation. And I was like, hey, so how long is it going to take to do the samples and to do the formulation? How much is it going to cost? And for the guy to tell me, why do you keep asking me like what the formulation costs are going to be right now? And I said, well, because, you know, I just want to be prepared. He's like, well, that's just the cost of doing business. And I was like, oh, I figured there was another way that this worked. You know what I mean? And yes, there are some things where you do have to pay a certain amount up front and in order to get your formulation started. But also, depending on how big you're going in that product, it's kind of it'll be built into the fee that you pay in your overall order when you're putting it out. So it was learning those things. So it took about 2 years. And then also too, some of those things that I was doing, when I first started, I was planning to go completely turnkey, where everything, it just comes back to me ready to ship, you know? And that was going to cost me about a little over $90,000.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like, okay, wait, like, yeah, we got 90,000 to do it, but where am I going to put 60,000 units of lip gloss?
Yeah.
You know, so all I could imagine was it being in my New York apartment. Like, I was like, wait a minute, we need to dial this back.
Yeah.
And let's figure out another way. And I just had to kind of break it down.
Okay. Okay. Michael, you know what? I have a really quick question, Tisha. Like, I just want to ask a really quick question. I'm always concerned about the supply chain.
Yeah.
And, Black manufacturers involved in that. And I always recognize that, you know, it's hard. I don't know a lot of Black manufacturers in the supply chain. So how can we change that? Like, I would love to do that. I remember maybe a year ago, Melissa Butler, the founder of the Lip Bar, she was up for a grant because she was looking into starting her own manufacturing facility, and she didn't end up winning the money, but you know, I'm sure that's something like in the forefront of her mind. I do have plans for a similar activation for us. Part of it for me is to develop more products in-house. I work with smaller chemists to develop a lot of our stuff. I also want to bring those things in-house, and I also want to be able to develop for other brands like mine that start off small and then grow with them to a bigger place. So I think that's a huge thing. Like, why aren't we? Those are the things when you ask, like, what can we do post COVID? Some of you are going to get, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 a month out of this. You know what I mean, because you're out of your unemployment, right? And how are you going to flip that money? You know, what I mean? Let's think broader. Let's think less about how to breed the brand, but how to create the brand. You know, how do you be the person that I come to say, hey, like, I need to make, you know, X, Y, and Z. I would love to make this with you, you know, and you build, you know what I mean? Like,
It's hard.
That's so true.
But why not?
Yeah, one of the examples I'm seeing is Erykah Badu with her streaming and her almost like going straight into, I guess, manufacturing. She's
Really?
manufacturing her stuff now, and I really admired that. Well, she decided, I think, to stream her own content.
Okay, yes.
Almost like low key, like cut out the middleman and started like doing her.
Oh my God! Like,
you know, I think that's
at the point that I started manufacturing my own stuff. Like, watch out.
We're gonna be a whole nother level. All right, so we are ready for your question now. Sorry, I didn't mean to ask that question, but it was at the top of my mind, and I had to ask it at the moment. Any advice for those of us doing self-manufacturing to eventually move to using a manufacturer?
Yeah, you know what? Well, one thing, I guess it depends on like your scale. You know, like scaling up and finding like a place that can facilitate your formula.
Mm-hmm.
Also know that usually a lot of those times you are going to have to produce at least 3,000 to 5,000 units of that. So be prepared for that. And if your business is moving in the
per SKU, right?
Per SKU, yes. Yeah. So if you find yourself in that realm where, hey, it's time to do that, then I guess the advice would just make sure you find a manufacturer that you can work closely with to produce that, and they can do it in a timely manner. Also, set yourself up for success in knowing that it's going to take about 12 weeks, from 12 to 18 weeks from the time that you offer the formulation to doing your samples to putting it into production, getting the approvals, putting it into production, and then getting it back to you. So don't have your business on the outs and not producing because you're waiting on that next wave of product from the real manufacturer. So think about timeline. Oh
yeah, the timeline is real, especially for retail. The timeline is definitely real. Like you really have to like go by, or if you want to be in retail, really understand like the season and what the buyers are looking for. Those types of things that's very real. So yeah I agree.
And like that's true. Like when you getting on that schedule, even for them, because sometimes they won't give you the time.
Yeah.
You have to be adamant about the time you actually need and being realistic about the time you need to get to market, because that could cost you a lot of money. You can find yourself out of business trying to do bigger business.
Oh yeah, that's really, really true. All right. So Carmen, what were some of the challenges of creating a product line that you encountered that you did not anticipate? That's a really good question.
For sure.
You don't know what you don't know.
Right. Some of it was a lot of it was packaging. A lot of times, like I've had a lot of different issues with packaging, or even just like the first time that we introduced AJ Crimson Beauty, it came in these really beautiful round jars, black jars. And I didn't realize that the amount of product, which is only 15 grams of product in there, but it lasted, girls, 3 years.
What?
And I was only selling it at the time for like $20. So it was like, so I would come back the next year to the trade show, just like, oh, I still got some. And I was like, what? Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you mean still got it? And then the next year, oh, I still got it. So it was a lot of like getting to know new customers in order to get the word out. But in that first one that came out, I literally changed the packaging and changed all these things. And just getting into a place. Also working with a manufacturer that you disagree with or you have a disagreement with because maybe something is not, the quality level is up to par. That happened with my BB cream. BB cream was moving really well, but I had a very unique deal with that manufacturer, which I was very thankful for because they really put me in a great position to launch something that had never been seen before. And hasn't been seen since.
Really?
BB cream in 12 shades. I mean, my number 8, the deepest color, that girl had a BB cream. Skincare, foundation with skincare in it, like at that shade. No one's still doing that. And we were the first ones to do it. So, but we not being able to see eye to eye on certain aspects of that, it cut out an entire branch of business or line of business for me. And I haven't really been too motivated to reformulate with a different person.
Okay.
Because I really loved what that was doing. So by the time I do it again, And there's other things I just wanted to get out. So I think that was an issue. And another conflict was just dealing with all of the retailers that said that what I was doing wasn't going to work. Only to see some of those retailers shop my site and then reformulate the brand basically either in their own signature brand or offering up to brands that they currently worked with and watching, which weren't people of color that own those brands, and some were, but then also ended up being, and then seeing people flock to it.
Yeah.
It was a very humbling and disheartening moment all at the same time.
Imagine.
But to that token where it did feel like a challenge. The challenge for me was understanding that I still have an awesome group of women that want to talk to me directly. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it really doesn't matter what those other things are because it's still not this.
Yes.
Right? So it's understanding that the road that you're on is still your road. Very true.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
All right. So, oh my gosh, I think that Tisha asked, should pricing be higher for folks doing their own formulating and manufacturing?
I don't think I understand the question. Should pricing be higher?
I think it might have to do with cost. Maybe the cost. I think it depends on what your costs are. You know, like, is that what she means in terms of pricing the product?
Folks doing their own. I think that you have okay, I can see this too. I think that if you know that I'll tell you about this. So this jar costs one price. This cap costs another price. The silk screening costs another price. All of those components combined make up the cost of this piece. There's also a sticker that goes on the bottom of this, right? So that costs something. Now we haven't even gotten into the labor of actually putting the product in here. So what it costs to make that per unit, that is another cost. And to put it in a box and to put the barcode on it. All of those things, every touch point to this is another addition to the price. Then you have to add your margin on top of that. You know, you have to value. So that begins, knowing your cost of goods is so important. And whether you're personally making it yourself, if you know that it costs, $1,000 to get all the ingredients that you need to make that, multiply that 1,000 by how many units that it actually makes, then that's how you get your per piece cost. And then you do your multiplications on top of, what your price point is, depending on what kind of brand you want to be. Are you mass or are you luxury or wherever it sits? Because all of those things matter. So just because you're doing it yourself doesn't mean that the price should be lower on the consumer side. It actually means that it should be more expensive in a sense because it is more unique. It's not a factory driven. Yeah. And you're making small batch.
Yeah, I love that. I think that is definitely like something I love the fact that you're talking business. Like, this is real. Like, you want to have a line, you need to really understand your cost, your margins, your wholesale, your retail.
Where do you plan to be?
So these are things that I think, are really, really needed to learn in the industry. I only ask because I see a lot of people undercharging their products. Oh, okay,
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing too. Like, so, if you are, you're making it home and you're thinking like, oh, it doesn't cost me that much, but you're undervaluing yourself.
Yeah.
What are your competitors doing? But, also too, what's your motivation? Because that's, I know that this costs me, I know that this lasts you 6 months to use up each one of these squares, right? And I know that I have the time it takes to get this piece from China, because these are made, overseas, feeling that it takes each one of those people to pour that, like that's a thing. Then we have to assemble all of this by hand as well. So it's all of these things, all these different touch points from paying the people hourly that do that to the making the batch, like all of that is in my budget, and I have to break all that down. And that's how you get to $150 on this, because I also have to run a business and pay people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's not because, you can, it didn't cost you that much to make. It's not supposed to cost me $150 to make it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That defeats the purpose of being in business.
Yeah.
But all of that goes into it. The value of it is $150. And when you break that down, how many months that you can use this, if you can't afford to give it, like a compactor foundation is $45. But over 6 months, if you can't afford to give yourself about 20 to 30 cents a day, great, then we just weren't talking to you.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like, there's so many other products out there that you can get for $6 and take a chance on your skin. We're just not that person.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Yes. Okay. So I have one more question for you, from me.
Okay.
AJ, have you ever thought about mentoring and coaching people?
Yes. Kind of all the time. Over the summer, I think it was the summer, I was doing, or maybe early winter, I was on a tour and I was doing a mentorship interviews kind of a thing. So I have a couple girls that I kind of brought into like a mentor moment with me, which has been kind of cool. I'm trying to figure out like how to do it like on a broader scale. And you want to do these moments that you and there's one part of you that wants to just say, oh, I want to give back, and you want to do it, off the love. But the reality is that time is money. You know what I mean? And I think the thing that a lot of artists that I've encountered, they feel as if I should just give you that for free. Mm-hmm. You know? And if I do charge you for it, it should be a low price. But the reality is that the things that I know, you can't find that on a YouTube video. So,
except this one.
What you say? Except this one. And the things that I know, you're not going to be able to get the essence of it always.
Yeah.
Quick, 15-second live chat or whatever. You gotta. The way you want me to invest, you also have to invest. The same way that you invested $20,000 or $30,000 into beauty school or cosmetology school, or you figured out a way to go and do a GoFundMe to go to somebody's makeup class. You know what I mean? Like, I think you could figure out a way to come to the table and say, hey, like, you know what? Like, this is valuable to me. This is an education that I can just get anywhere. Education costs. So I think that's always kind of been the thing that stops it for me in its tracks, because it's just not. It's just. I don't
know. I mean, I see it. Listen, guys, reach out to AJ and let him know like you're willing to pay for his time, because I feel like when you do that kind of stuff, you almost create your own shortcut. Because the thing is, I have over 16 years of experience. Yeah. And I've worked 2 brands. You know what I mean? And I've run an agency for 6 years. Yeah. So there's so much information. You know what I mean? But I can't even just capsulize in an hour. You know what I mean? So it really is a thing of, it just depends on where you want to be and how much you value where it is you're trying to go. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. The right is another person. Like when I was working on my agency, I went and she's ran an agency. She's built artists, artists that we had seen and grow and that we grown to know. And I went and I sat down with her and I paid her, by the hour to consult me. You know what I mean? Like on certain things. So it's just, I asked her for a discount. I said, hey, what's your price? And if it was a little more than what I had, I was like, all right, cool. Let me get my coins together so I can do this. And I came to the table with it. And that was that. Like, I don't like haggling over people's rates. So it's like, hey, if that's what you cost, that's what it costs. So let me figure out how to pay it, because what you're going to give me, I'm going to make that money tenfold. And I'm going to add that fee that I'm being charged into the fee that I'm charging my customers. Because I'm educating myself to be better for you. How do you feel like you get that mainly because you're a Black artist?
Yeah, I think a lot of times you get that, and I mostly get it from other Black artists. Like I definitely find that there's a lot of I've had certain non-Black artists who've come in to them like, oh, like, okay, how much is that? Because I do it.
Okay.
You know, I've had like great conversations with people, and you know, and mentor moments that are like that. You know, but I've also had people say, hey, like I would love to pick your brain.
That's a famous saying. Pick your brain.
I'd love to pick your brain, you know, about this idea that I have. And it's like, oh, actually, we could do a consultation.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you say that, it's like crickets.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, well, you know, if you don't you respect me enough to pick my brain and for me to give you every step. You know, when it took me 2 years of research. 2 years of research. So that's 365 days times 2. That's what, over 700 days, you know, to figure out how to get my product to market. But you want me to give it to you, you know, just because you called me or because you DM me and you want this, you know, and you want to frame it in a way, well, what's your advice to doing this? And I'm supposed to give you this long drawn out answer. You know what I mean? Like the step by step. It doesn't work like that.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question.
No, it's okay. I love the question.
Okay. So, Sabrina, we're gonna go with your question because I could keep this conversation going all night long.
Don't forget it because I want to know it.
So, how can you distinguish between small and medium brands that are legitimately inclusive versus ones that occasionally have a darker skin tone model just to get our dollars? That's good.
You could feel that. I think you just feel that. Like, were they talking to you before? You know what I mean? Like, that's the real deal. Like, where did it come from? You became an extension line? Oh, we have a new shades just for you. Like, now, you know, like, come on.
Yeah.
And even when you look at all the brands that now that are featuring Black girls as the face of their lines, they weren't talking to you before that. You know what I mean? So, but it's very obvious.
Yeah.
It's just like whether you want to be if you want to recognize it or not, or you say, well, you know, they're trying, and that's good. And actually, I think the greatest thing about social media and with Black women in social media and Black people with social media and Black women in beauty is that they've really forced the hands of so many people in beauty how to do those things. You know, say, hey, like, you know what? I've been spending my money over here and I've been trying to fit myself into this foundation that just clearly doesn't work. You need to get your colors right. You know, stop. I want to wear this too. You know, and there's nothing wrong with you wanting to do that. Like you wanting to wear, like if you love a brand and what that brand stands for and what it's doing for other girls, it's not wrong for you to also want to see yourself in that moment. But it's also just a point where when you and you've driven that home. That's what you've driven that home and you forced the hands of people to start picking that up. But I also don't want to be a trend either.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't just start talking to me, you know, just because you want to get me over here. But then when I get here to try the colors, they still don't work. Or they're kind of ashy, you know, or I've seen there's one brand who literally, I walked into a store one time and the girls, they didn't acknowledge that they knew that I was AJ Crimson, but I was just looking, I was like, oh, I looked at the gondola and I said, does this color, is this the deepest color you have? And they're like, yeah. And so I swatched it and I was like, oh, I said, is this supposed to be this color? So they basically took a girl who was like our complexion and photoshopped a deeper shade on her.
Wow.
And actually the real shade was that the person actually looked like they were of Indian descent. And but you could tell that they photoshopped the skin to look darker. And I was like, is this color? Is this supposed to be this? And she was like, yeah, it is. And this is a Black girl like looking at me trying to tell me this. And I said, are you sure? Are you sure this is this color? And I had to look at her like, come on, sis, like,
give me the real thing.
I'm looking and I'm like, you honestly can't believe that this is the same thing, girl.
Yeah.
And she, well, it's supposed to be that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And she's like, are you AJ Crimson? I'm like, yeah. So like, no, please don't.
I saw that. Yes. Well, look, y'all, this was a lively conversation. I loved it. I always want to thank you, Dave, for coming on because honestly, guys, you guys got some gems. Like seriously, AJ knows his stuff. He said over 16 years of experience. This is something that is not new to him. He's been in the game. He's been there. He's been supporting us and everything. And so one of the things I would like to request is that we support him back. Okay, so I think like that is he loves us for real, y'all.
I do.
Yes. Yes. And I want to say thank you to AJ for coming on. I just want to tell everyone that we're gonna take another 30-minute break. Okay, and next up is hair raising with Naima LaFawn and Felicia Leatherwood.
Oh, I love Felicia.
Yes. So I will see you guys in 30 minutes. Great conversation. Thank you, AJ.
Thank you guys so much. Follow me at ajcrimson.com and go or follow me at ajcrimson on Instagram, and then you can go to ajcrimson.com.
There we go. All right, y'all. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Bye, AJ. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.